Good morning, Panthers. Welcome to your next yoga class. Today we are going to focus on our hips, and we will do some stretching, and then we will also do some standing poses that help to strengthen and stabilize the hips. So to begin, sit cross-legged like we did before. We're going to start with those same 3 deep breaths, rolling our shoulders. So take an inhale, pull your shoulders up, and exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. 2 more like that. See if you can slow down your breath. Inhale, shoulders rise. Exhale, shoulders glide down and back. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And as you drop your shoulders down this time, keep them there. And notice that maybe you feel a little bit taller, a little more length in your spine. From here, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. This pose is called Baddha Konasana, but some of you might know it as butterfly pose. You're going to hold onto your feet or hold onto your ankles, and then you're going to fold forward. So what I want you to notice here is that as I'm folding, I'm not rounding my spine. So if your hips feel really tight, you can stay upright and hold on to your ankles or your feet. If you can fold, keeping your spine long, you can start to bring your torso forward, and then you can use your elbows to gently press your knees open. So find your stretch and take 3 deep breaths. Each time you breathe out, pressing the knees down towards the floor. And then come back up. You can use your hands to draw your knees back together. And then we will come into tabletop, which we did last time. So a lot of these things you'll start to see similar repeating themselves, and they will become more familiar to you as we go through our practice. So let's start to stretch our left leg back first this time. And I want you to imagine your left leg like a little frog leg. You're going to take a breath in with your heel pressing back. And then as you breathe out, you're going to bring your left knee up towards your left arm. Some of you might be able to touch your knee to your arm all the way up there. And then as you breathe in, stretch it back behind you, straighten your leg. And as you breathe out, like a little frog leg, bring your knee up to your left arm. And inhale, stretch your left leg back. One more time, exhale, pull it in. And then pause here, take a breath. Strengthening and warming up into that outer left hip. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, left knee down. Second side, same thing. Stretch your right leg straight back behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your right knee up to your right arm, like a little frog leg there. Maybe touch the knee to the arm. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Get nice and long. Exhale, bring the knee up to the arm. Going slowly here, we're not rushing. Inhale, stretch it back. When we move slow, we're building strength. Exhale, bring the knee to the arm. Hold it there this time. Take a deep breath. Little froggy leg. And then inhale, stretch your right leg back. And then exhale, lower your knee down to the floor. Downward facing dog. Hands are shoulders width apart, fingers spread wide apart. Tuck your toes, lift yourself into that triangle position. And again, remember, if your hamstrings are tighter, bend your knees more. Drop your head, take a deep breath. And then bend your knees, look towards your hands. We're gonna step our right foot up and drop our left knee down. From here, we're going to take a simple twist. Left hand stays on the floor, right arm stretches up. And as you bend into your front knee here, you might feel a stretch in the front of your left hip, which is your psoas muscle. Very important muscle to stretch. Take one more breath. And then right hand comes down to the floor. Lift your left knee up. And now we're gonna spin our left heel down flat to the floor. Find an imaginary line on your mat. Line up your right heel with the arch of your left foot on that line. And we're gonna rise into warrior two. So your right knee will stay directly over your right ankle. Your back left leg is strong and straight. And then notice that your hips are level here, so we're not swaying the pelvis forward or back, but there's a nice evenness in the pelvis there. Arms stretch out. And right away you might start to feel you're building some strength in your legs here. If it feels challenging, try to slow down your breath even more. And then we're gonna move with our breath a little bit here. So you're gonna turn your right palm up towards the sky. As you breathe in, you're going to come into reverse warrior. Left hand down your left leg, right arm up. And then as you breathe out, side angle pose, right arm to right leg, stretch your left arm over. Notice that my legs aren't changing shape at all. I'm just moving my upper body. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose, stretch your left arm over. One more time, inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend, and we're gonna hold here. Notice that I'm not dumping down onto my right arm, but I'm pressing my arm and my leg together. So I'm lifting and creating space between my arm and my torso. Take another breath. And then as you breathe in, come back up to warrior two, and this time we'll straighten out that front leg. Should feel really good right about now. Step your left foot in a couple inches closer to your right foot. One more pose on this side, triangle pose. As you inhale, reach your right hand forward. And as you exhale, bring your right hand onto your right shin and stretch your left arm straight up towards the ceiling. So you have one straight line there from your right hand to your left hand. And then start to lean back a little bit. And take a couple of deep breaths. Take one more inhale, start to look down to the floor. As you exhale, set your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath, and I want you to stay there and notice how the right side and the left side feel different. And then bend your knees, look forward. This time you'll step your left foot up to your hands. Drop your right knee down. Let's start with that low lunge twist. Right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up to the sky. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe out, left hand returns to the floor. Lift your right knee up and then spin your heel down flat. Find your imaginary line. Line up your left heel with your right arch. And then strong in the legs, you're gonna rise up to second side warrior two. Good, so your left knee is over your left ankle, your back right leg is strong and straight. And notice that your pelvis is level here. It's not swaying or tipping one way or the other. Take another breath. And now we're going to add our movement to our breath. So keep your legs the same. Left palm turns up. As you breathe in, reverse your warrior. Right hand down your right leg, left arm stretches up. As you exhale, lightly, left arm to left leg, right arm reaches over. And then two more with the breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come forward to side angle. Legs staying the same the whole time. One more. Inhale, reverse. Slow down your breath. Exhale, bring your forearm to your thigh. Extend, and this time we'll hold here. And we'll take a few deep breaths. Stretch long from your right heel to your right hand. Push your left forearm into your left leg so you're not sagging down or dumping down there. One more strong breath. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten out your front left leg, walk your right foot in a couple inches. And then inhale, reach forward through your left hand. Exhale, left hand onto your shin as your right arm reaches straight up towards the sky. Lean yourself slightly back. Make sure you're still taking slow, deep breath. And then look down to the floor as you inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. And then our final stretch this morning is a pose called single pigeon. We're going to bring our right shin forward. So you want to bring your knee to your right wrist and your ankle up to your left wrist. And then drop your left knee down and flatten the top of your foot, so point your toes back. And then take an inhale here. You're gonna lift and lengthen your spine. You can stay here, especially if you already feel enough stretch in your right hip, or you can start to walk your hands forward. Come down onto your forearms. Maybe drop your head all the way down to the floor. And take 3 deep breaths. We're going for a nice stretch in the right side hip here. And take another deep breath. Try to relax into it. Try not to hold yourself up or grip or resist the stretch there. And then press back up onto your hands. Tuck your left toes, step back into down dog. Again, notice the difference in the 2 sides. And then let's go into the second side. Left shin comes forward. Drop your knee behind your left wrist, ankle behind your right wrist. Drop your right knee and then point your right toes back. Take a breath in here, lengthen your spine, lift your heart. Stay here if you already feel enough stretch in this left hip, or you can start to walk your hands forward. Some of you may even be able to drop your head to the floor. But remember, it's not about how far into the stretch you go, it's about feeling a stretch that feels comfortable for your body, and then taking a few breaths into it. Take one more breath on this side. And then press back up onto your hands. Step back into downward facing dog. Last time. And now you're gonna bend your knees, look in between your hands and hop through. Come down to a seat. Cross your ankles or your shins, come back to the same cross-legged seat we began with. Sit up nice and tall. Notice how your outer hips feel after that short sequence, stretching and strengthening. And thank you so much for taking your time to do this class with me today. Enjoy the rest of your day.